Right here, down. Protect your out. We put the work in. Let's finish. Come on, man. Let's do this. Family, I'll do 1, 2, 3.
You see, we dream chase, cause that's all we was given to start with. Then we realized the dream was obtainable. Now look at us.
What's going on, Eagles family? Welcome back to the Main Thing Podcast Presents. I'm your man, Big Huss, the one you trust, bringing you all your Philadelphia Eagles latest. Look, man, we got a jam-packed recap of the last 48 hours out in Philadelphia, all on this setting the stage for Sunday's matchup with the Denver Broncos. We have injury updates, roster shuffling, some red zone brilliance, and even some power rankings. This is where we get the full picture. So, hey, we're about to dive right in. Before we do that, please make sure that you're liking, commenting, and, of course, subscribe to the page so you don't miss what me and Mr. Owens hit you on the head with this pressure for real. So, let's start with the injury report right quick. First up, the Eagles got their second and third official injury reports later this week. This is where, things get started ahead of kickoff. So, first on the list, we have Grant Calcaterra, who was listed as a DNP, did not participate earlier this week with the illness. This raised some eyebrows, but, man, this is the NFL, man. And more so, this is Philadelphia Warriors. You know what I'm saying? So, they don't miss games because of illness. He will be back available Sunday. He was a full participant on Friday, and like I said, expected to suit up Sunday. So, we needed him, especially with things had been being questioned earlier in the week with Dallas Goedert. But speaking of Dallas Goedert, got some good news. He was upgraded from missing Wednesday to limited on Thursday, and then was a full participant on Friday, which we need. Dallas Goedert, when healthy, is a big piece to this offense, a key contributor. So all signs point to him being available versus Denver, and given his role in the red zone execution, man, especially, last week he had two of them things, 2 touchdowns. Man, it's huge. Kobe Dean. I know y'all heard my main name circulating, in Buzz Talk this week. This one's a little trickier. Dean was limited on Wednesday and Thursday, but then became a full participant on Friday. But then later he went on the Instagram basically telling everybody that he's not going to be suiting up this week, so maybe we see him next week. The Eagles are playing it safe with him coming off their injury reserve and Zach Bond and the standout rookie Jahad Campbell balling out. There's no reason to really rush him back. The more realistic time target or timetable for him returning will probably be week 7, week 6 earliest on a Thursday night turnaround. But like I said, there's no real reason to rush Nakobe back. We have an all-pro and Billboard Bond. Jahad Campbell has been stellar. And rumor has it that Nakobe Dean probably could have returned week 1, but as good as Zach Bond was last year, Nakobe Dean was just as good. You know what I mean? So we have an outstanding linebacker room right now. So we kind of want to ease them into it. Now, some full participants. Jalen Carter, who's been dealing with a shoulder, he was a full. Lane Johnson, we love our pay the lane. Dory Jackson is back in the fold. All 3 were banged up earlier this week, but Friday they came out and were full go. Carter and Johnson locked to start, clearly. Jackson is a little bit interesting. Will he jump right into CB2, or do the Eagles stick with the young boy and Keely Ringo? This is something to watch out for. Keely Ringo, despite his ups and downs earlier in the year, training camp, maybe the first game or so, this past game, my man was straps. Yes, he had a good game. Missed a couple tackles, but overall, stark difference from what we've seen from him earlier in the year. I mentioned Jahad Campbell. Technically, Jahad missed practice on Friday, but it was due to personal reasons. Nothing to be concerned about. He will be a full go on Sunday, ready to ball out like he's been doing. Look, bottom line, outside of Dean, the roster's healthy right now. And that's a scary thought for Denver, who's a little banged up. But we'll talk about that later with Mr. Owens in our, pre-game preview. Now, some roster moves. Let's talk about the roster gymnastics. Eagles keep tweaking practice. The practice squad looks a Rubik's Cube. They're just playing with it, flipping it back and forth. We signed Eli Ricks and the old outside linebacker Anton Powell Ryland, APR, to the practice squad. Release Jacob Sykes and defensive end KJ Henry. Now, the funny thing is, this move basically reversed what they did a day earlier. Classic Eagles, always churning, always looking for depth pieces in case of an emergency. Um, Cornerback room has been a little up and down, a little thin with some injuries. And honestly, you could say the same about the edge position. So one of these two players, if not both players, could potentially be bumped up to the active 53-man roster. Yeah, I mean, either this week, next week, at some point in time. So that's something to keep your eye out for. Now on to some power rankings. It's time for the fun stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Our Philadelphia Eagles are currently sitting at the #1 spot in the latest power rankings. Do we really expect anything different? We are talking about the reigning Super Bowl champion, the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, we're #1. We're undefeated. We're 4-0. But the kicker is that things have looked messy here lately. 0 second half completions last week, negative passing yardage in the half earlier in the season. But somehow, some way, our Birds still managed to pull out dubs. Like I said, sitting at 4-0. For the rest of the league, I'm sure it's infuriating. The dude Chris Broussard on I forget the name of the show with Nick Wright, but basically he alluded to the same thing. The league should be scared. We're not running the ball well. We're not passing the ball well, right? Things have been the tale of two sides of a coin when it comes to halves. First half might do well, second half we look sloppy. First half we might do bad, second half we do well. We haven't put together a full game, but when that thing clicks, oh, it's scary hours in Philly. Please believe me, right? If we're already at 4-0, and it's not like we're just knocking off anybody. We beat the Chiefs, we beat the Bucks, we beat the Cowboys, we beat the Rams. 3 of those teams were playoff teams. We still managed to pull out a victory, so we're finding ways to win, although looking sloppy. But when we finally put it together, it's over. If this team is winning ugly now, like I said, what happens when we start clicking? Man, Super Bowl champs is in the works. We have the potential to truly repeat, but we got to get it together, man. Still early, but when in hindsight, a quarter of the season is already gone. So we don't have too much longer to really kick this thing in gear, but I expect our Eagles and with the leadership we have to really focus up and lock in for real. Now let's speak on a little red zone mastery. From the 20s in, you feel me? This is where Philly is really separating themselves. The red zone. It's crazy. Let me kind of lay it out for y'all real quick. Offensively, a perfect 11 for 11 in the red zone. That's every single time we step from the 20 in, we're punching it in. Okay. Defensively, only 4 touchdowns allowed on 11 tries. That's pretty damn good too. That's top 3 in the league and #1 overall over the past 3 weeks. This defense continues to show while they're not only like one of the best in the league, arguably the best in the league, when it comes to handling business. Vic Fangio has them boys humming, and it's only going to get better as the season progresses. But that's the magic formula. You can outgain them, you can out-yard them, but if you don't cash in where it counts, you're done. Finito, you feel me? A few highlights. The Dallas game, Quinyon Mitchell pounces on a fumble deep in the red zone. Chiefs game, rookie Drew Makuba picks off a Travis Kelce deflected pass in the end zone, takes it back about 30, 40 yards. Tampa game, another rookie showing up, Shahai Campbell, mind you, snags an interception inside the 10s to save the day. And offensively, Kevin Patula, who's been roasted for the play calling, has actually been sharp inside the 20. He disguised a tush push perfectly against Tampa, twice turned it into a wide open, got a touchdowns. He did flip it into a Saquon Barkley counter for a run game for the winning score. He's creative from the 20s in. He's creative from the 20s in. That's playing chess while the defense is locked out playing checkers, right? When he gets it between the 20s, oh boy, right? He just has to tighten it up. But the red zone efficiency is when it counts. We're used to truthfully, in years past, between the 20s, we would move the ball at will. We would get into the red zone and we would struggle. This is the complete opposite. I don't necessarily we're necessarily struggling between the 20s, but our red zone efficiency, chef's kiss, 1 of 1 in its own class right now. So while the total yardage looks ugly, and it looks ugly, I'm not gonna lie. I think we're ranked towards the bottom of the league in total yardage right now, ranked 30th, I believe. But the Eagles are basically living by the golden rule: dominate where it matters most, and that's the red zone. And they're doing that on both sides of the ball, and I love it. Okay, straight up. Big picture, the perspective is red zone was our Achilles heel in the past. Barely completing 54% at a touchdown rate, while opponents were converting 73. And this year, as I mentioned, it's a total reversal. 4-0 feels different in 2025, baby. So closing out right quick, right? The Eagles are healthy. They're first in the league's only real power ranking. They're perfect in the red zone. They're doing all of this while still leaving meat on the bone offensively. If this is the floor, imagine the ceiling, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine, like I said, when it really gets to clicking. When all three phases are working in sync. Because right now, say what you want, offense is being carried. Defense is carrying them. Hell, special teams is carrying them. When they kick it into gear, we will start blowing teams out. We're already putting up 20-plus points a game with a struggling offense. When the boys really find it, man, it's over. So Denver comes to the link on Sunday. The Birds have a chance to go 5-0, right? It's going to be fun. Denver is no slouch. They have ballers, Bo Nixon and them. They're hungry. They're the upcoming team, so we don't want to sleep on them. But right now it's looking good. And at the end of the day, Philly just has to focus on one thing. Keeping the main thing the main thing. You feel me? Now, stay tuned. Me and Mr. Owens will put out a video tomorrow discussing some keys to victory for the Eagles versus the Denver Broncos, who we host on Sunday. Hope everyone had a great week. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure, as I mentioned, that you're liking, commenting, and subscribing, okay? So you don't miss this. Hey, we love y'all. Support the channel. Support your birds. It's fly, Eagles fly till we die. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay blessed.
It was I was gonna make a lot of money doing what I wanted to do. I went after it, and it was a struggle to achieve it. But you know what? I caught that bitch. Dream chasing.